welcome back to the Aussie Diecast Racing League. I'm Brian Tolmie, and this is Big Wheel Bowling, live from Thunder Valley Raceway. Let's head down and meet these drivers. First up in the cream-coloured Nissan Patrol, let's give it up for Ruthie. Driver number 2, driving in the very orange Ford Bronco. A big round of applause for Jocko. Up next, driving in the beige Toyota Land Cruiser, it's Shauno. And last but not least, driving in the red Chevy Big Air Bel Air, it's Graham. Let's have a look at the rules for this event. Each driver gets 2 runs, both out of left and right lane, and obviously, who knocks over the most pins is declared the winner. Shauno ready to go in the Land Cruiser. He's starting off in the left-hand lane. Let's see what his tactics are. He takes off well over the hump, goes around the first corner. Well, looks like he's going to pick the middle lane, gets a little bit out of control, and he takes out the right-hand side lane of the pins there and takes out 3. Solid start for Shauno. You can see here he got a little bit sideways. I think he was trying to power slide into that centre pin, but that didn't come off for him. He started off well. Looks like he took the right line around the first bend. Coming out of turn number 4, he's a little bit loose just here. Tried to overcorrect, and that put him down the right-hand side of the track and into those pins, taking out 3, starting him off with a solid score in the first one. No scoreboard for this one. We'll move on next to Graham, who's got the Big Air Bel Air ready to rock and roll in the left-hand lane for his first game. Away he goes. What's Graham going to do? Turns around, bit of a pirouette. He's going to aim for the left-hand lane. He's hit the left-handers and he's knocked down 4. Takes him straight into the lead over Shauno, who pulled down 3 pins in his first game. Watch here, he goes down the left lane and just smacks down 4. Lucky to get that one on the right-hand side to drop, but nonetheless he did, and it moves him into the front. Pirouette there as he headed down the straight. Wasn't sure what his plan of action was, but whatever he did, he needs to keep on doing it if 4 pins is the result. Now we'll go and have a look at the leaderboard after 2 games, and we see Graham sitting there on 4 ahead of Shauno. Ruthie next to go in that cream-coloured Patrol. First crack here for Ruthie in the Patrol. The lights begin to count down. What's Ruthie going to do on his first attempt? Now as you get around the corner, gets a little bit loose around there. Doesn't look very pretty so far. He's heading down the left-hand lane and he can only knock over 3. Just wobbling there like me after a night on the biz. Didn't quite fall over. So that's 3 down for Ruthie. His first game has him tied with Shauno. A little bit loose there. Went up towards the Pepsi signs and never really got any momentum. Managed to stick it to the left-hand side of the track and knock down 3 of those wooden pegs. So let's have a look at the board. We've got Shauno and Ruthie sitting on 4. Graham leading at the moment on 4. As we see Jocko going for the first time in that orange Bronco. What's his technique going to be? Away he goes. It looks like he's got the foot flat to the floor as he goes over the hump. Takes that corner like a superstar. Showing some real speed. Power slides and hits it with the rear quarter panel. He's knocked down 5 pins to take over the lead. What a magnificent performance there by Jocko in that very orange Ford Bronco. What a performance. The time was reasonable there as well. 6.61 seconds. Takes him into the front after the first group of gamers. Look at this. Little power slide and hits it with the rear quarter panel. Good technique. Something the other drivers might want to employ in their second round from the right-hand lane. Let's check out the leaderboard before we kick on to the next group, where we see Jocko up in front there ahead of Graham on 4, Ruthie and Shauno on 3. Shauno ready to go for his second game, starting here from the right-hand lane after picking up 3 in game number 1. Lights begin to count down. Shauno needs a strike really to keep himself in it. Gets around the first bend, turns himself around. Looks like he's going to try and hit these pins going backwards, using that tyre as some sort of buffering device. He gets through and knocks over 3 pins. Not quite what it was after flipping himself around like an expert, really, trying to use that spare tyre to ricochet these pins, but it just didn't pan out, and he's knocked over another 3 in his second and final game of big wheel bowling here at Thunder Valley. Expert manoeuvre this one, just turned himself around like a champion. Really had everything going his way, tried hard to get in the middle lane. Hard to do when you've got a helmet on, trying to look in that rear vision mirror to line yourself up. Nonetheless, he pulled it off with 3. Righto, it's Graham's turn to go. He has currently got 4 pins on the board. He's got that Bel Air ready to rock and roll. The lights begin to count down, and away goes Graham for his second event. Hits the corner well, takes that one with a lot of speed. This one could be damaging. Power slide, only knocks over 3. He's got to be disappointed with that. The execution was absolutely on point. Look at that power slide. He's done everything you need to do. He's power slid right into that centre pin. Didn't have the weight behind him, I feel, go any further or knock over the entire 6. But what a drive from Graham in that big air Bel Air, and a perfectly executed power slide. If we was giving away points for that, he would be in front. Now we see 2 finish runs. Graham sitting in front on 7, ahead of Shauno on 6. Those 2 are done for the day. Ruthie ready to go for his second game out of right-hand lane. Let's see what he can do. He performed well in the first race, knocking over 2 pins in game number 1. Away he goes in that cream-coloured patrol. How's he going to take the first corner? Poorly once again. Kisses the Pepsi sign and loses all of his momentum. Goes down the left-hand line and hits the pins and knocks over 3. Disappointing run for Ruthie in the patrol. Nissan fans around the world will be disappointed with that one. And he will claim 3 more pins to move him on to 6 after his second event of big wheel bowling. You could see that he had no momentum at all as he left turn number 4. Did his best and smashed that patrol into the pins on the left-hand side. Let's check out the leaderboard. After group number 2, we see 3 drivers are done. Shauno, Ruthie and Graham have all finished, sitting on 6, 6 and 7 apiece as we move up for the final driver. Jocko sitting on front here with 5 pins down to his name. What's he going to do? Is he going to go for glory or play it safe? The lights go out and there goes Jocko in the orange Bronco. Power slides around, turns himself around to face the wrong direction. He's going to aim for the middle pin but just misses. And it's 3 pins knocked over there for Jocko. Great performance after just missing the centre pin. I feel that if he hit that one, he would have knocked them all down, but it wasn't to be. And he has to be content with 3 pins in his second game. Really executed this power slide, turned into a reverse manoeuvre for Jocko. Couldn't quite line up the centre pin and missed it by mere millimetres in game number 2. So let's check out the final leaderboard where we see Jocko taking away the win with that performance. He finishes on 8, ahead of Graham on 7, Ruthie and Shauno tied on 6. But it was all about Jocko today. Set up that victory after knocking down 5 pins in game number 1. Well, if you've liked what you've seen here today at Thunder Valley, please like, comment, share and possibly subscribe. Remember to come back on Saturday for group number 2 of the NASCAR Summer Cup Series right here at the Aussie Diecast Racing League.